Hello, welcome back to TFR eSports Season 24. Here we are for the F2 division once again, and we are here for round 3 of the season, the Chinese Grand Prix, and it's a very light rain and soaking Shanghai International Circuit, let's say, because the heavens have opened, and like in Australia, the rain has hit. I am joined by my usual co-commentator, Epic the Animal, in the commentary box as usual. How are we, Epic? And are we looking forward to another exciting round of the F2 division?
Oh, of course, F2 never, ever disappoints. I'm sure today will be absolutely no different, especially with the liquid on the track. I anticipate safety cars, and I also anticipate a big opportunity for someone to really take a foothold on this championship. Not any consistency to the results in round 1 or 2. But with a track like China and conditions like this, if you have a pace advantage over the field, you can really just open up a big gap here today, especially with the likelihood of DRS being deactivated for the whole race. Really take advantage of the situation and, yeah, put your foot down on this championship.
Yeah, we're going to see quite a different race tonight because the drivers know that it's light rain conditions all the way through qualifying and the main race, no sprint this week. And so they'll get their setups absolutely spot on this time, you'd imagine, because there's no changeable conditions. But at the minute, we have Ronnie at the very top of the timings with a 1:45.979. And just as I say that, Hyperghost hits the line and goes just under 4 tenths clear of Ronnie with a 1:45.6 dead. And with about 4 minutes to go, that is a pretty good time, Epic.
Yeah, it seems like it. It's hard to tell from the commentary booth what the track is actually doing. Are the conditions improving? Is the track going to be quicker here at the end of the session with more cars going through the racing line? It'll be interesting to see. And also, how many drivers actually put in representative lap times or have had mistakes in their lap? Another variable to this race I want to talk about is that because it's wet running the whole way through, did they bring
Yes.
a specific wet setup to the race? It's not like old F1 games where we had wet time trials, so you could just load in a fast wet time. You got to you're on your own these days for wet setups. So it'll be interesting to see what people have brought to the table, if they're running higher downforce than usual we see at China, or lower downforce, and if we're going to see big differentiations, if that's even a word, in
It
terms of
is,
the
yes.
straight line speed
Yeah,
down the straight.
I think you're right. It's weird, this track, because in dry conditions, the tyre wear plays such a factor, and so
Oh, yeah.
that's something you have to bring into play with your setup and not get too kind of greedy, if you like, in terms of one lap pace, because you'll pay that price over the length of a race. We've seen that before, particularly in the F2 division, and it's caused absolute chaos. But this time it's very different. With these intermediate conditions, they'll still suffer with a bit of tyre wear in the main race, but it should be a fairly straightforward one-stop race. And yeah, I don't think we'll see anyone try and get to the end. I don't think you can do the whole 35%
No.
on a set of inters. So
Maybe, you never know.
oh, as Oracle goes quickest on 5-lap old intermediate tyres. So he's just kept going and going there, Lewin, and he's gone half a tenth clear of Hyperghost, and that's a stunning lap, you'd have to say.
Yeah, it just shows that it's more about the accuracy right now of the driving than it is the tires, and even accurate or perfect ERS usage over the course of the lap. Hooking up the lap is the most important thing here in F2. And yeah, we'll have to see if that's going to stick. We got Hyperghost in the pit, so I imagine he's going to put on fresh tires, but I don't think he's going to have time to get back out. No, he's not going to have time. Hyperghost is done.
Yeah, well, that's a big shock
So
then.
that's a big. I mean, still second, he's looking good, but that really makes Oracle's position look that much better because the next closest competition to him is almost a full half second behind in Ronnie. But Ronnie's coming down the backstretch now. Let's see how his braking is to this final corner. Big on the lockup. Takes some curb on the inside. That isn't the preferred alignment through there in this year's game, believe it or not. But it doesn't hurt you too much. How much curb does he take on the inside here? All of it. quick to full throttle. Well done there. Then have the back end come
Pole.
around, and he improves. Holy snaps and arseholes, Margaret. 1.2 seconds pole position. I was not anticipating that. And here we are, F2, folks. Anything can happen at any moment, and nothing really matters till the very end.
Well, that is a stunning lap from Ronnie. He has shown before already this season that he has pretty damn good wet weather pace, and that is quite the lap from Ronnie there. The question is, can anyone get even near that with not long to go? That gap almost 1.3 seconds. Absolutely stunning. Here comes Lime then up to the line, and he goes fourth with a 1.2 second improvement, but again, absolutely miles off Ronnie. And this is pretty much it. These are the final few laps. We've got Trimp Yachts not far off the line. He'll get his final run in, so it will be Jabs that will be the first driver to hit the line, Logan.
Yeah, and I want to point out, look who's in dead last right now.
Yeah,
man. The man that dominated in round 1. He's in P10 right now, and this lap hasn't been particularly great. He had a terrible turn, something like 4 or 5, whatever that right-handed hairpin is. And this is going to be his final lap. And he's 6 seconds off the pace to him. No, that's a 5. That's a 5. My eyes are failing me. That's a 5.
Check the flags
Oracle,
out.
is he on another lap? I think he's on another lap as well, but he's down, but only by 8 1,000ths. Wow, 1.2 seconds up, it looks like, or 1.3 seconds up, it looks like that's going to hold.
Well, here comes Araberman then. This is an important lap here. Can he get himself off the bottom? Yes, he does, but it's only 6th. Incredible. So, like you were saying, Logan, the dominant man in Bahrain is only 6th here in China. There's a few more cars coming to the line. Hyperghost is done. There's somebody else behind him. I think it's not Schaefer. It's it's Paul Fern. He's gone straight on. He's gone straight on at the final corner, so something's gone on there.
Oh.
All eyes to JVKP and Schaefer right behind him. Here comes the 2 RBs. Can they upset the party here? I'm not sure they're getting enough time, but we're going to find out. Here comes JVKP then. Where will he go? Goes 6th. Schaefer's on the front row. He's 3/10 off. There's Oracle. He's not been able to get onto that front row. Improved by 0.6 of a second. But it's Schaefer with a last gasp lap there. The only man could be Trimp Yachts, but I don't think he's improving enough. No, he's not. And it's going to be Ronnie on pole here.
But Trimp, he could improve his position on the grid, though, so we'll have to see. He's the last one running here. His F1 Lime is not on a valid lap. Locks up us a little bit. Good line, though, through the hairpin. A little shaky get on the throttle. Went down to first gear, though. Still has some ERS to work with. See how he is through the final corner. Good line through there. Solid exit. Let's see if he can improve his position. And he does. Hey, a position's a position. He's up in the P9. That puts Paul Fern at the end of the grid. It's a Williams sandwich in this field today.
Yeah, it is, yeah. There's a Williams on pole and a Williams down at the back. But you have to say, what a lap from Ronnie. I mean, I would have been shocked if anybody was going to beat that, and it became the case. Schaefer gave it a good go, so too did Oracle, but even that's almost 7/10, that gap. I mean, yeah, that's quite ominous, considering those will be the same conditions in the main race. But it is Ronnie on pole then, alongside Schaefer on that front row with Oracle and Hyperghost, locking out that second row, and then Lime and JVKP in 5th and 6th. Quite a way off. Haraberman, I mean, the championship leader, almost 1.9 seconds off the pace, Logan.
Yeah, he is, but we'll have to see how this translates into race pace, especially at a track like China in these modern F1 games where the way you drive really affects your tires more, and the way you set up the car really affects the tires more nowadays. It'll be interesting to see if maybe people are more running their race setup in qualifying. Maybe they might have 1-lap pace, but they might run the rears too hard. You can do that on the inters. It'll be interesting to see, because we see in the first 2 rounds necessarily the qualifying pace doesn't match how the field stacks up in the race at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited. Yeah. The start's going to be massive here.
I think it will be, and particularly if anyone can get clear, then that could be absolutely vital in the race. It's critical as well for all the drivers to have a clean start here, because if they get in any trouble, it could be very difficult to recover those positions. Here we go then. It's the long old wait, the minute where the drivers make their final tweaks, and make any kind of adjustments to their strategy, although we're expecting a very simple strategy for this race. It's just about who will be the quickest in these intermediate conditions. Harriman leads the championship then by a slim margin, only going into round 3 here, but he's got a lot of work to do ahead of this Chinese GP. Make sure you get your thoughts in on the stream. Here we go then. We've got 3, 4, 5 red lights ahead of the drivers here in China. And we are underway. It was once again a long wait there, but Ronnie has got a good start. He is clear of Schaefer, and Oracle might just get pinched by Hyperghost into the first corner. Yes, he does. They make a bit of contact behind, actually, and Hyperghost does indeed get up into third. There's a yellow flag in the back. That's Trimp Yachts. He's gone round. Ronnie is having to go in the defensive here from Schaefer. He's trying to get around the outside, get a good run at the Williams, but he's now got a finger back behind him because here comes Hyperghost as well. Interested in second place now. He's already got third. Can he get second place? No. Oh, a little defensive move from the RB, and he cashed himself out, and the Williams is off as well. They're going to be 3 wide here, coming out of the corner. Incredible stuff. And Ronnie, I think, is just going to be able to recover himself. Look at that. 3 wide into this corner. Ronnie does somehow survive, but then the Ferrari is picked off the RB, and that is incredible racing in these early stages, Logan. Over to Logan.
Oh my god, I'm muted! I'm muted! Haribo Man was off. Him and Paul Fern had contact coming out of turn 3. Now he almost had contact with Jabs. Trimp Yachts went around turn 1 but kept it going. Great save by him, honestly. His car was completely 90 degrees. Tons of battling here early on, and F1 line made up the position on Oracle with a great braking maneuver into the hairpin at the end of the first sector.
Absolutely. So down the back straight for the first time. And yes, Hyperghost really on a charge at the early part of this race. There you can see the field. And, well, like you were saying in the qualifying, there is obviously no DRS in these conditions. So Hyperghost may know. And, oh, look at that. Wow. And
good
Oracle.
Defensive move by Lime there, late. And great line taken by Lime there to defend. That was very well done by him. Oof. Oracle, a little shaky on the exit. Any moves going on behind? No. Jabs is a little loose, getting on the throttle out of the penultimate corner, and they all hold position for now. Ronnie leads after the first lap. Hyperghost is still very much in striking distance, but used all of his ERS almost just to stay within striking distance. He really wants his position early on. It's a bad line by Ronnie into turn 1 or turn 2, whatever the hell it's called. Hyperghost goes through for the lead, or does he? Hold on, folks. Wait, there's more. Billy Mays here with this turn 2. He has the better line. Ronnie does. They touch wheels. Side by side. Oh, now they're touching side pods. How many more times can they touch?
And Ronnie there, yeah.
Oh, and Schaefer almost goes into the back of them into turn 4 or 3 or whatever the heck. I don't know my numbers. I'm an American.
Oh, Ronnie's going to check out the inside there. That was ambitious. Oh, how on earth they didn't collide there, I do not know. Into that corner there, that was ambitious to chuck it up the inside, but somehow they did not collide. Hyperghost then is now the leader, and you could kind of tell that was coming with the way he started here. It was a man on a mission, and Ronnie probably a bit frustrated there, losing the lead, trying to desperately get back ahead, but he will have a run down this back straight, Logan, and you can absolutely be sure he'll be giving it another go.
Yeah, and he has more battery than Hyperghost as well. He's over 90%. Watch for Schaefer, though, behind. He's going to be waiting for his moment. He was right with Ronnie in terms of pace of qualify. Whoa, big snap by Gavukapa, but he's able to keep it in a straight line. Oracle with a decent run on Lime as well. It's all going to kick off here into the hairpin.
Here comes Ronnie then to the outside. Yeah, there he goes. And he can't get it slowed down. Oh. Deary me, that was close.
I was about to do a Verstappen on Vettel in 2018. Niche reference, I know. I don't know why that popped into my head, but it did. Oracle not able to get around line, but he's ready for shove.
Oh, Hyperghost there with a poor line into that final corner. Such a tight line, and here comes Ronnie then to the outside. Has the momentum. Will he be able to swing it around the outside here? He's trying his best, but he's not going to have the grip out there. He's going to be careful of Schaefer right behind trying to pick up the pieces. He's gone wide himself, almost opening the door for his teammate. But they're all trying all sorts of different lines here, but I think they're finding out the hard way and trying to get past Logan.
Yeah, and something I'm worried about is how long they're going to take these tires. A lot of them seem like the rears are very happy on these long corners. You don't want to overwear the rears of these intermediates. That may mess with your strategy later on. China is a track where you can very easily overdrive the car on the races. As Oracle and Lime are side by side.
And there he goes,
One
Lime
through the other on my. my screen. Lime gets back through an Oracle, and Oracle goes from P3 all the way down to 6 here at the start, but still a long way to go in this one, as we still got 18 laps in this one.
Yeah, it was quite close there between Lime and Oracle. There's a bit of ghosting going on, but thankfully they both came away unscathed. But it's good to see the gaps are still close out front. Hyperghost again setting a purple middle sector there, but Ronnie has not been dropped just yet. I mean, he's keeping that gap fairly close, and it seems like that Williams has got decent straight line speed, and if he gets a good run down this back straight, which he has, he may have another go at the Ferrari. Here he comes then in the slipstream of that Ferrari of Hyperghost. He's going to pull to the outside then, and how late will he dare get on the brakes here? Hyperghost is a little bit later on the brakes this time, and Ronnie will have to set it up a bit of a different way. Doesn't quite get the exit once more, but Hyperghost does a good defense there, Logan, just putting that Williams to the outside.
Haribo Man and Paul Fern going at it to the penultimate corner. He's not able to get around him, though, and Jabs is looking to pick up the scrap, saving them having a mistake. Not the best exit there by Paul Fern, and the championship leader looking to make a roof here. What do we got going on up front?
Jabs almost going into the wall there. Yeah, I mean, a massive slide.
From the outside, Haribo Man and Paul Fern in the one. Can he make it stick? Doesn't look like he can. They're going to be side by side, but that's going to turn into the inside here at the next corner. And can he get the job done? He has the preferred line through this corner, straighten the car out and get to the full throttle quickly. Paul Fern shaky on the exit. Haribo Man goes through in the 7th, and a big gap. The Oracle to make up, though.
He's lost a lot of time there. And he seems like he's struggling.
Train, if there was DRS.
If there was.
A lot of happy rears through these long corners. I wonder how it's going to affect the tire wear later into this race. I know we don't really talk about the constructors much, especially in F2, but RB looking really good here in the early going, 3rd and 4th. It's a lot of teams don't even have 2 cars on the grid. Big opportunity for this team with their good attendance and solid finishes to score a lot of points here.
Well, this is the thing, RB are 2nd in the constructors right now, only 4 points behind Aston Martin, and the way Haribo Man is tonight.
I'm so happy to hear.
Yeah, he's again though, this time he's not going into the slipstream of the Ferrari. He's being a bit more patient. Hyperghost is going to have a more unfavourable line this time around, and Ronnie, well, he might get squeezed out a little bit there if he's not too careful, but he does just tuck in behind the Ferrari and tries to get a good exit out of this final corner once more, and maybe just saving out that ERS. No, he just goes to the left a little bit to dip out the slipstream, goes back in it now. Will he have a go? Yes, he will. He's going to go to the outside and try and hang it around there, but he's just not going to quite have the grip. The Ferrari gets a bit sideways there, but I think Hyperghost is going to hang on once again.
Yeah, if Ronnie has an engineer right now, he should be yelling at him, Hyperghost is no battery! Just wait for him to use the rest of it. Save up a little bit. Schaefer and Gavukpa are catching back up to them as well, as they've been able to stay within a second. Oracle with a great exit out of that corner, and he's going to dive it down on line! Absolutely sends it! Little bit of contact, a lot of bit of contact, man, perfectly. On the exit, the line gets to. Oh my goodness, they're both on the track. They're coming back on the track. Oracle gives him a smack. Now he's on the inside. No, live. Oh my goodness, I don't even know what to say right now. They're lucky he's not sitting damage. Sparks everywhere. They're grinding back. There's no side by side. Who's gonna get it? Oracle's got the inside going into this corner. Live's gonna hang around the outside there. End plate damage for Oracle.
Yeah.
As well, that's really going to hamper him in this race. And guess who's catching up? 3 seconds this lap, Haribo Man has made up on them.
Well, hang on a minute. These two are the commentators in the F1 division. The two commentators absolutely scrapping it out on the track there. And absolutely gloves coming off there. Oracle, like you said, Logan, has the damage. He's going to come back at him here. I'm going to try and keep an eye on the lead as well. Lime absolutely swerves to the other side. Tucks back in, but yes, he has got him. I think Lime's not happy. He let him go
out of respect. I think he let him go out of respect there.
Wow.
Big lockup by Lime there as well. Does Lime have damage? Nothing visible on my screen.
But that was getting seriously feisty there. I mean, and that is an understatement. Back to the front.
Oracle Lime to the final corner.
Yeah. Ronnie has got quite close again, but this time around it's actually Schaefer and Javen Cappi that are getting quite close behind him now. This is becoming much more of a four-way scrap once more. And there is still a long, long way to go in this race, and maybe an element of patience here for Ronnie Logan. Maybe he just needs to pick the right moment to get past Hyperghost and not just keep trying it every lap.
Him and Hyperghost are pushing so hard. Hyperghost pushing hard with the battery. Ronnie just sliding those rears everywhere. They're going to be absolutely fried at the end of this stint.
Yeah.
I wonder if anyone's going for a no stop. I don't know if that is viable. I know you can take them whoa! Kafukapu gets the curb on the inside, but saves it. And yeah, this race is really gonna change as time goes on. I think tire wear is really gonna play a factor here at the end. Jabs has done a great job of catching back up the Paul Fern after his mistake in the final corner a few laps ago. So there will be a battle on for P8. Rebro Man steadily making up a little bit of time on this Lime Oracle battle, and I don't think anyone's close enough to battle up front. Maybe two V-carbs, and they've lost touch with the front two. So it looks like we literally have 4 different two-car battles going on here simultaneously.
Yeah, it's fascinating actually how the V-carbs are going to play it here, because they're both in a great position. And yeah, do they fight it out between each other here, or do they kind of play it tactically, let the other two in front scrap it out, and as long as they can just keep pace with them, look after your tyres, and then maybe come back into play a bit later on? We'll find out, but there is a gap forming each time there of about over a second from Ronnie to Schaefer, and I fear for RB there, Logan, that they may think about fighting it out for who's on the podium instead of the bigger prize here.
Yeah, there's definitely still a lot of race to go, and with how hard everyone is fighting, you could almost just wait to get handed a free position. You know, there is going to be a mistake here at some point. The question is more just when it's going to happen. You don't want to overdo it here early on. What's going on here? Schaefer he's letting his teammate
He's letting him go, yeah. He's letting him go.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of get it. In a sense, I mean, Jeff Kippy, he was close, but they've lost even more time, Logan, haven't they?
That was a move of all time. And, yeah, Jabs is close to Paul Fern. I'm going to move on from that one mentally, or at least try to. And so, Jabs is running in 5th gear there for some reason.
So Ronnie's quite close again, coming onto this back straight here, and again gets a little bit snappy on the exit, but will once more try and get into that section of Ferrari, but he's not using any ERS down the straight. We've got Hyperghost down to about 30% of his ERS, but he's just keeping that gap at the minute, not finding too much threat. Lime getting fairly close down the back straight as well, but no move this time around. JFKP, he has dropped Schaefer quite a bit actually, Logan, so maybe that he did have a bit more pace at this stage. I mean, it was fair play to Schaefer for doing those kind of tactics, you know, at this part of the season. He doesn't necessarily have to do that, but he's obviously thinking the team game there.
I mean, in a way, if he knew he was that quick, it could, in a way, be a selfish play, too, because if they start fighting ahead, that's going to be his chance to get back into this race. Those cars in front of him slowing each other down. As Kafukapu is very loose through 2 and 3 here, but he still has good pace. And he's not overusing his battery either, so he is going to be able to sustain that pace. It's not like he's just burning everything on one big lap. And he is catching up rather quickly, I must say. They were at, what, well over 2 seconds. He's gained, what, let's say at least 3/10 over the last lap and a half. He definitely will be on pace to catch up and make this a 3-way fight once again, as Schaefer has been dropped. But Oracle isn't really gaining on him too much behind. Lime's sticking with him. Haribo Man has fallen off a couple seconds. Maybe a mistake has happened there. And Jabs and Paul Fern have been within a second for quite a few laps now, but Shrimp Yachts is not far off of them. We do not have, you know, someone hanging out way at the back of this race by any stretch of the imagination. All things considered, lap 8, intermediates F2, the field is not that far spread.
Yeah, it's not. And yeah, I think the obvious pick here is probably lap 10 for a change of tyres, but again, we just don't know. This is the mystery here, is we don't know. Can they make it to the end on one set? I mean, surely not at a track like this. I mean, China is notoriously an absolute tyre killer, but who knows? I mean, Nobody's coming in the pits just yet, but we still have a few laps to go until anyone probably thinks of that idea. But I'd imagine, Logan, the undercut is going to be incredibly powerful as Jacob Capisse sets the fast lap of the race.
Yeah, depending on how high the tire wear actually is. If anything, because of how much worse the tire wear is on high fuel, I would think about pitting on lap 9, kind of doing a 911 thing. 911. But yeah, and going for something like that might be a play. That and you get a 1-lap undercut if people are doing 10-10. But I wonder if just 20 laps on the inters is viable. I wouldn't be super shocked if it is. Maybe some of these drivers towards the back of the field are just taking
that gamble
a little bit. Yeah. Or maybe just staying out for a safety car. Maybe thinking, they'll go 14, 15 laps. Even if they lose out to the undercut, if they're further back in the field, if a safety car would come out, it would absolutely just save them.
But then I guess
with BSC.
Yeah. But with the race that we've seen so far, I mean, can you see that happening? That's the thing. I mean, I wouldn't say it's necessarily the kind of track where the barriers are particularly close and you can kind of hit the wall anywhere. I mean, unless someone has a really big spin maybe in that middle sector, I can't really see how there's going to be a big shunt in this race at the minute, as Ronnie has a big slide coming onto the main straight there. But how about this, Logan? He's done this every lap now for quite a while. He doesn't go in the slipstream of the Ferrari down this back straight. I mean, is that maybe just not wanting to get into the dirty air? I mean, I know it's more of an effect on this game, or what? I don't understand that.
I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean, it's free pace. Take it.
I mean, I'm sure you can explain
why he's not sitting in the slipstream
after the race, but their pace has picked up compared to Jacob Capisse. He's now 2.5 seconds off. Oracle is really finding some pace here, considering he's got damage on that front wing. That's 2 laps in a row now. He's set the fastest lap, and he is on a charge. He's dropped Lime, and he's now hunting down Schaefer here. I mean, who knows, Logan, what his pace would have been like if he still had a fully working front wing. Well, it is fully working, but to an extent.
Yeah, and also Jabs got dropped by Paul Fern as well. So towards the back of the field, we're kind of spreading out a bit more. Actually, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th are all... 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th are all continuing to spread apart. So really, the race right now is just this top 5 group. But I'm sure someone's going to come together sooner rather than later. Hyper goes with a lot of curb. Ronnie, they both take a lot of curb there through that right-hander. And Ronnie is getting close, but they both are sitting on a healthy battery at this point. Overtaking isn't going to be the easiest thing in the world without the...
Oh! Deary me. Sorry, Logan, sorry, but that was so close from Ronnie there. I don't know if it was just the camera angle, but...
Yeah, Hyperghost got a little bit too much curb there, heading onto this corner. This could get interesting.
It's close.
Yeah.
This could be the moment.
This could be it.
Here he comes. He's in that slipstream of the Ferrari. He's been waiting a long time in this race so far. Almost goes into the back of the Ferrari. Couldn't quite make his mind up to go to the inside or not. He's had to go to the outside every time so far this race. At that time, I mean, that could have been an airplane crash. If he just kept going there and went straight into the Ferrari of Hyperghost, to be fair to him, Logan, he placed the car well and did not give an inch on that inside to Ronnie there.
Yeah, and Ronnie didn't know whether he wanted to go left or right, so he's like, I'll try the middle out. And it didn't really work out for him there. But he does have more ERS than Ronnie now by about 20%.
Car in the pits.
So if he can just... I mean, yeah, more than a Hyper Ghost. We got Haribo Man in the pits. He's going to make the undercut here. Jabs is caught back up to Paul Fern. And it's another set of inters going on Haribo Man. But the championship leader now falls to last place with that.
Yeah.
Is anyone going to try to make the tires race?
We've got a swap again. Schaefer is back past JVKP. And again, I think that's a swap between the RBs. So, I mean, this is giving me deja vu of Ferrari a few years ago where they seem to not be able to make their mind up which car should be ahead of the other. But it's these drivers that are making the decision here. And Schaefer then is now back in front. And they've got Oracle hot on their tails now as well, with Lime just behind him. That could become a bit of a four-way scrap for the final podium spot, Logan.
It could be. Oracle is definitely caught up. He is definitely quicker than the RBs at this time. If he gets by them in enough time, will he have enough time to get up to that front group? What an amazing comeback that would be after being all the way down to 6th place after the first lap.
I mean, he has great pace right now. I mean, I don't know, maybe less downfalls on the front wing. It's given him such a good straight line speed down the back straight or what, but he is absolutely fine. Will we see anyone else dive in the pit lane? Yes, we do. We got a race leader in the pits then. So Hyperghost comes in. So too
Schaefer as well.
does Schaefer. Oh, he almost hit the wall. He almost done a Lewis Hamilton there, but without the gravel. And, well, that was a close escape there for Schaefer. A little bit too hot on the entry. Hyperghost here does not get delayed in the pit lane. Straight back out. Fresh set of boots on the car. And the question is now, this is a pressure moment, Logan, of can Ronnie do the overcut here and get a very good lap in and clean air? And can Hyperghost get those inters up temperature and do a brilliant undercut here?
Yeah, if people are going to pit, I can't imagine why they haven't pit yet. So maybe they are going to try to take these tires all the way.
It's not that long, isn't it?
Oracle has definitely caught the car ahead now. Question is, will he be able to get around? He does not have the battery right now, so big battery advantage to the car ahead is going to make things difficult for Oracle. But if he can overcut Schaefer and get around the other V-carb here, he could be in terrific position. Oh, and he gets very loose there. That ain't going to help the tire life if he is trying to go all the way. And I'll have to keep an eye on the gap with Hyperghost to Lime. Is he gaining quickly on Lime ahead? Are the new tires that good?
Yeah, because Haraberman, he's not took chunks of time out of the car in front, so he's not exactly shown too much difference. It's going to be fascinating. It's going to be fascinating. Will they try and stretch these tires to the end? We're going to find out our answer very shortly with Ronnie, because he's
gaining a lot of time.
I think he is. And he's staying out. Oh, he's gone straight on. He's gone straight on at the final corner and recovers to the circuit. He'll definitely have picked up a warning for that, you'd imagine. There's a car in the background in the pits, I think. Yep, there is Lime. He's another one that's gone wide. But that's fascinating, Logan, because they're all staying out and there's not long to go here.
Hyperghost has gained over a second this lap to Lime. Now, I don't know what the pace is in relation to Lime, but yeah, he definitely gained a lot of time on those fresh tires. So now the play for Ronnie has to be to stay out. That's going to be his only chance.
Yeah.
Hyperghost is just gaining too much time on those fresh tires. 16 seconds is going to be too much for him to make up, though, to Oracle.
Wow.
But these guys are not going to the end.
It's a fascinating race. It's a fascinating race all out of nowhere, because you thought this would be a fairly simple strategy here. But, I mean, Ronnie, he's gambling. He is gambling a lot, because if he really has problems with tires at the end, then he could throw away a P2. But he's going all in for the win here. Oracle putting the pressure on JFKP here, and the gap from Oracle to Hyperghost is still 15 seconds. It's coming down, but that is a lot with the time that we've got left. Yeah, I mean, is that going to be enough, though? At that rate? Yeah.
It won't be enough, but if these guys are pitting, yeah, he's purple. If these guys are pitting, this is Hyperghost has won the race. It's already over.
For sure.
They have to stay out.
Oracle just gets that slowed down there. I mean, you can imagine with that front wing damage, he was just struggling there. Ronnie stays out once more. Do these both stay out? Yes, they do. This is it, look. They are absolutely staying out all the way to the flag here. Oh, yeah, massive slide there.
They're taking so much curb on the exit of the final corner. That's so sketchy with how high that curb is. Here comes Lime on Jabs. Jabs is not pit. Lime has. Locks up all 4 tires there, but it won't really matter for tire wear with a fresh set of boots. And Lime might be able to... Oh, I guess Schaefer is pit as well.
Schaefer's got good pace, you know. He might still be able to close that gap to Hyperghost with that kind of lap. So, but the gap is 14 seconds now from Oracle to Hyperghost, with about 6.5 laps to go for these front runners. Electro Russell Manzano, I think that's how you say that, on the comments, it says Paul Fern is going to finish 6th. well, he's down 10th for the minute. He's got a bit of work to do, but we'll keep an eye on that one. Meanwhile, Ronnie then, with that gap, still 5 seconds out front. Let's see his sector time here. He's over a second down his personal best at the minute. When you've got, obviously, the likes of Hyperghost improving by a lap. That's the same for the two behind. So they're all basically a second down on their personal best, which is of 147.8/9, depending on which driver you are there. So, yeah, it's basically 2 seconds a lap, roughly, at the minute, Logan. That's not going to be enough.
Not at all. And Oracle is really struggling with the rears out of some of these corners. I don't know if he's just pushing too hard or he just has a lack of grip at this stage in the race. But he's able to catch the car ahead easily, but not get a good enough exit to make an overtake. And he's using way more battery as well, which isn't helping his chances for an overtake.
So, lap 15 now, not long to go. I think the only other side of this here is, will the tyres actually just physically hang on? Because we have seen so many times in TFR eSports before punches at this circuit. We have seen punches at the Chinese GP. We had that last season. Nitrogen in the closing stages, getting a puncher and blowing a podium in that race. Could we see it again tonight? I don't want to tempt fate on anybody.
Oh, here comes the Oracle.
Oh,
surprise move here, maybe? No. Oh, then a late move by Kavukapu. It's a good thing Oracle didn't send her, else there would have been a lot of contact there.
Trip
goes into the pits.
So that's a late pit stop. So that again, does that mean though he's thinking there, blimey, I've made a mistake here. These tires are not going to hang on. I need to get in the pits.
Yeah, that's definitely what he's thinking. Typically speaking, your tire wear is worse than what the game predicts it will be. So if you're solely going off what the game says you'll be able to do, you're going to have a bad time.
Well, it's going to be fascinating, this. This has been a bit of a slow burn in this race, but don't go anywhere because these final laps are going to be on an absolute knife edge because these front runners are going to be struggling like you wouldn't believe. The podium is definitely not set here, and Oracle is in the slipstream. There's an almighty amount of weaving from JVKP there, trying to break that toe. He's got to be a bit careful he doesn't pick up a penalty there because you can't make too many moves. And, well, he maintains the position, Logan, but how do you see that? There's quite a lot of moving there.
Oracle wasn't close enough that it was hampering him in any way, so didn't seem like anything bad there. If anything, Kavukapu might have slowed himself down on the straightaway with that much weaving.
Well,
but yeah, Oracle still not able to make the overtake, still struggling on battery. And Ronnie maintaining a consistent gap out front, and Hyperghost, that gap just keeps dropping, but not enough for it to matter in the end. If these guys don't pit, he goes from leading to fourth.
I think he might be.
Difference.
Go on, sorry. Yeah. I think he might be very close to these two at the end on the last lap, but as Hyperman picks up a penalty.
Where did he get that here? Final corner, I guess.
Yeah. I think Ronnie here, unless those tires do go off a cliff, he looks pretty safe at the minute. But the two behind, although I say that, Ronnie's had a bit of a poor middle sector there. He's just lost half a second to JVKP there. So, after a pretty immaculate race so far, that was a bit of a poor sector from Ronnie there. And that gap now is down to, well, less than 8.5 seconds from Hyperghost to Oracle. The gap is coming down. And, wow, as those tyres get worse and worse for the front runners, this is going to be a little bit of a nail biter here. You can see them in the same picture.
If they go off a cliff, that could change the rate that Hyperghost is gaining, especially if it's the rears, and it just makes the car very difficult to drive, and then it's going to increase the chances of a mistake by these guys.
Well, Oracle there was very snappy out of that hairpin once more, but for this time he is quite a way off from JVKP. He's losing time. We're on lap 17 now then. 4 laps to go, and, well, if you just do the simple maths on that we've got a yellow flag, actually. What's that? That's Paul Fern!
Paul Fern!
Now, what has happened there? Is that a puncher, maybe?
Loose.
Or no, just a...
No, Paul Fern has already pit.
He
Yeah, it
has,
was just a
yes.
mistake.
So, just a little precaution there. We've not had many yellow flags in this race, so any of them that do appear, it's definitely something to look at. But yes, what I was saying is the simple maths here is Hyperghost, if he keeps catching by 2 seconds a lap, he will be right on Oracle on this last lap. But obviously that is still a disappointment for him, Logan, because he was leading the race.
Yeah, he was leading the race. Ronnie wasn't really able to get by him. And especially when you lose just on strategy, that's rough. But things could still change. These tires could really fall off a cliff for these guys ahead. As Jabs gets a 3-second time penalty at a very interesting location.
Yes.
I don't know what happened there. And yeah, Oracle's still struggling to get around Gavukapu, who's on 100% battery.
Yeah, and Ronnie's really backing off here, because he's again losing time to JVKP. And here comes Oracle then, actually, again moving to the slipstream. You could see JVKP there was moving a bit. He's not quite going to gain enough demonstrate, but he was using a bit of ERS just to close that gap. Just about gets it slowed down once more. But, yeah, you wonder, what is he thinking here? Is he just going to settle for this P3, or is he still going to somehow try and get past JVKP? 3 laps remaining. Hyperghost this time around, has he gained those 2 seconds? Yes, he has. He has got those 2 seconds this time, so he's still on course to be on their tail, Logan, come this last lap.
Fisher has gained slightly on Hyperghost as well. So this isn't over by any stretch of the imagination, literally, for anybody. Interesting that it seems the V-carbs are working together, yet they've done different strategies.
Yeah. Yeah, and to be honest...
It shows that no one's sure.
Yeah, it is all a big gamble at the minute. Oh, bit of a snap again.
Big slide.
Yeah. And every time I see that... Yeah, every time I see that, it makes me slightly nervous that the tyre is just going to give way. This is the thing, when we're commentating on this, we got absolutely no idea what the tyre percentages are. They used to have this. It'd be a very rare graphic that would come up and it would just show you actually what the percentages are, but I've never seen it on this game so far. Oracle's had another little snap there, and that gap now is almost 1.1 seconds. And yes, he is almost 2 seconds down on his PB. Hyperghost has gained a lot more on this lap, Logan, because he's only got 6 tenths left to gain in the remainder of this lap, and then he's already got his 2 seconds.
Yeah, it looks like the tires really are falling off a cliff. So because Hyperghosts are still in that very functionable window, that pace differential could just be increasing as the final laps happen here. Especially if Oracle and Gavukapu battle here, they're within 2/10. Oh, that's under the braking zone though. Almost touches the butt. Oracle, too happy with the throttle. Yeah, he's really struggling with those rears. They've got to be absolutely destroyed. As we now start lap 19 of the race, Ronnie's opened up a bit of a gap. He can be a little bit softer on his tires as well because of that gap.
Yeah, Ronnie...
Paul Fern not looking like he's going to get that 6 that was predicted in chat.
Unfortunately so. It's they're still in the same positions that they qualified in, the Williams pair, but the question is, will it remain like Hyperghost again has took almost, what's that, about 7 tenths, 8 tenths make that in that first couple of corners. He is really catching those two. He can see them right in front of him now. And this is going to be oh so close for who is going to be on the podium here, because Hyperghost is on a charge, Logan.
He is on a charge, and he's running full traction control, which means he isn't going to make a mistake getting onto the throttle like Oracle has been. So even if his tires were falling off, it would be advantage Hyperghost here in the later stages of the race. This is going to get real interesting as it's down to 2.7. The gap just keeps coming down.
Yes, I mean...
Gavukapu's still doing a good job of managing his battery as well. You got to give him credit where credit is due. He's done a great job to hold on to this P2. It wasn't looking like P2 for him for most of this race, but he's really put it together here where it counts here in the late running.
Well, Oracle's very close this time, you know. He's much closer than the last lap, and if he has got any
he's gonna run out
ERS, he's going to run out. He might just have a little go to the outside. He knows he's run out of opportunities for this P2. He's going to get late on the brakes just again, gets it slowed down, and Again, JVKB keeps this position. They're both sliding out the corner there. And as we are about to start the final lap here, that gap is still very close. Ronnie is pretty comfortable out front. I'm not sure his tires would say they're comfortable at the minute. And we'll keep an eye on these three because they're all on an absolute knife edge here. Like I said, this is a bit of a slow burner, this race. But this final lap could be quite the dramatic one, Logan.
Yeah, it could. Are the tires going to make it? What percentage are they at? I would love to know what percentage the tires are at. Oracle is so loose on the rear. Hyperghost has the gap down to 1.5, but it looks like it's going to be just quite not in time. Schaefer's there to pick up any scraps if anyone makes a big mistake.
Yeah.
And Ronnie out front is just, I think he's just cruising it to the finish, taking care of the tires as much as he can.
And
Last lap now, use all the battery you got. Gavukpa's still harvesting. It's the final lap, dude. Use the meter. Cash it out.
There is Hyperghost. He's getting so close here.
They're so loose on the rear. Both of them ahead. Is he going to be close? I don't think he's going to be close enough, though. If they have a terrible corner here, whatever turn number this is, or whatever the corner's called.
Yeah.
He's within a second now. He can...
he's so close. He is so close. He's closer to Oracle.
Traction. It's all about the traction.
This is going to be a drag down this back straight. I'll keep an eye on Ronnie in the distance as well because he is obviously going for the win here. Yeah, Hyperghost, I don't think he's going to be close enough. I think they're going to survive here, which is quite remarkable that they've managed to make this strategy work. I mean, Ronnie's completely backed off on this lap, but they're going to make it work here. Here is Ronnie then. What a fantastic win this is. He'll be delighted with it, with that strategy call. He wins the F2 Chinese GP. Look at them behind. It is so close, but they're going to hang on. JVKP and Oracle are on the podium. Hyperghost, he led the first half of this race, but he made the pit stop and he'll be absolutely ruining that because he has to settle for fourth. Schaefer fifth.
Oh, Paul Fern!
He's hit the wall. He's hit the wall, unfortunately.
He's not P6.
And this man here, Hariberman, our championship leader, he will not be the championship leader after tonight because only P7 Jabs just behind him. But Hariberman, where was his pace tonight? Really struggled. Trip Yachts and Paul Fern are the final runners. But how about that win from Ronnie Logan? And, well, he made that right call, didn't he?
Yeah, today the race was one on strategy, and then he did a great job of managing the race once he had that gap. He didn't overdrive the car, took care of those tires as much as he could, and it paid dividends late in the race. Hyperghost almost caught up to Oracle there at the end. Great job by Gavukpa for managing that battery, which helped him defend that position for most of the race. Very interesting one that was. A slow burner, a strategic race. We usually don't see that in F2 at all. I would love to know what the tire wear was. Someone please tell me how bad your tires were. Send me screenshots, something. I have to know. Were they in the 80s? Were we in puncture territory?
So Ronnie says one more lap and it was going to blow, totally. He says he's got a screenshot. On lap 12, the rears were 40% for Oracle. So we'll find out more shortly. But if he says they were one lap away from puncturing, then they must have been a super high percentage. But there you have it. A win for Ronnie. And, well, I need to check the stats. Actually, that might actually be his first ever win in TFR eSports. I can check that one later, because there are your full race results. Ronnie then wins from pole for Williams, with JVKP in second place, ahead of Oracle, with that damaged McLaren. And it was Hyperghost who missed out, despite getting a fast lap and leading the good chunk of that first part of the race. He ended up fourth for the end, and Schaefer in fifth. Very well may be the new championship leader with what happened to Hariberman in that race. We'll find that one out later. But like you said, Logan, it was a slow burner, and it was a different kind of race, and obviously we didn't have as many drivers tonight, but it provided the action in a different way, and there was a very kind of tense finish to that race, and we had no idea who was going to win it.
Yeah, great call by those that did not pit. took care of those tires just enough to not have them blow. Very tense end there. One more lap would have changed so much. It's crazy how close the margins ended up being between the two strategies.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to say hats off to those who made those no stop strategies work, because just trying to keep faith in it really and just not make any mistakes despite the car snapping all over the place. And well, that is your lot from the F2 division for this week. We'll be back next week stateside for the USGP, or the Miami Grand Prix as it will be this season. And thank you, Logan, as always, for joining me tonight, and we'll see you in the next one. There we are.